Hello all, this is Sharon Gornick. I'm going to teach you about turnitin.com and how to grade a paper using both the quick marks that we already set up and the rubric that we've already set up, and also typing directly on the paper. This is from a computer account. You can also do this on an iPad. It has a few different features, but as far as the computer is concerned, I will show you how to do that. You will need to sign into your turnitin.com account. Go to your assigned papers and classes. And apparently I got logged out. Let me log back in. All right, so sign in to your Google account. .org. Then go to your class and your paper that you're working on. Okay, and I have a few that I've already graded, so you can see the grade. You can also see when the student has logged on to view their paper and when they've viewed their paper, as you see as I mouse over this, or you should be able to see the student has viewed this paper on the 23rd of March at 11:03 a.m. A little yellow thing pops up. All right, so I'm going to take you through actually grading a paper. I'm going to work on Emily's paper today, Gone with the Weave. This is a Raisin in the Sun paper. It's going to load a different window, so I need to screen share that different window for you. Here we go, screen share. There we go. I need to do this window, share. All right, so we're in the paper now in turnitin.com's document viewer. You'll see that I already have my Gornick preset quick marks on the side here that I use most often. And you can also see the purple stuff on here is that turnitin.com grades some of the grammar stuff for you. You can choose to keep these or dismiss them so they're not on the paper. You can turn them off for your grading, so you have just a blank paper that you're dealing with. If you click on originality, that's going to show you all the commonalities. So she didn't necessarily directly quote anything, but her works cited page should be the same as everybody else's. So you can see up at the top, it has a 4% similarity. When I look at one of the other papers, you'll see that it has markings within the page. She chose to paraphrase most of her quotes, which is a good idea when integrating the material more smoothly into your paper. So I'm going to start with just grading the paper. And I need the grade mark on in order to see my comments, which will bring some of the purple stuff back up again. But again, I can dismiss anything that I don't like. I generally just leave it up there for the kids to see. So I reflect back on different stages of life and see how much it's developed. We don't want to use contractions in papers, so I'm going to take my little contraction mark and I'm going to drag and drop it over and tell her that she cannot use any contractions. I can associate this with a certain criterion, so this is my convention or grammar criterion, and that way she can know exactly what part of the rubric that's going to affect. Throughout Raisin in the Sun, Benita, Benny has changed her looks and opinions when she spends time with Asagai. Asagai's opinion heavily matters to Benita, so in order to get his approval, Benny tries to assimilate to African culture by cutting her hair and learning traditional African songs and dances. All right, so the prompt that she is responding to is about which character in Raisin in the Sun changed the most over the course of the play. She doesn't really answer that question. So I don't have necessarily a pre-marked thing that says your ideas are not meeting the question. So I will just click right on the paper and it's going to say enter a comment here. Ideas/thesis do not answer the prompt given. Who changed the most? All right, so I'm going to save that quick mark. I could also add it to the criterion and figure out, again, which rubric marking that's going to take down. And that will go here, and then when she mouses over this comment, those things will come off. To start off, so good transition, Benita's main goal is to find her individuality, and in order to do so, she tries many hobbies. We need a comma there. So we're going to drag and drop comma. When doing this on the iPad, you're just clicking on the screen and you'll have a quick mark and you'll click, click, and it'll drop the comment for you. So there's no dragging and dropping. But her main interest is in her ancestors' culture, so we need an apostrophe here. As you can see, these are all quick marks for me, so you know that my students don't necessarily use commas or apostrophes very well, and they add contractions to their written work. This is something that I don't necessarily want to write every time, especially when I'm working on the iPad and you have to click through the keyboard. So they're quick drop and drag quick marks. One of the biggest points of Beneatha's changing is the revealing of her natural hair. Before going all natural, Benny has spent time with a Sagai. He has made fun of her hair, saying she is becoming one with the times. This is cited, which is good, and it's cited properly. So here's where she actually hits on something is changing in her. So this is a good point. Good point. Connected with change in character. Need stronger thesis to make point more clear. And again, I can associate with a criterion of ideas and save this mark. So it'll come up with the little bubble speech thing, and she can mouse over it and see the longer comments. So it's not taking up all of the page. In response, she's cut off all her locks and let her hair be in its natural state and curly. Again, cited properly. As a result of her drastic change, her family was bewildered. All right, so now we have a change in her verb tense. So I have shift change here, or change in the shift, tense shift, sorry. And if you mouse over that, I've created this verb tenses analysis so they understand exactly what it is that they did wrong. And again, this is going to be in your convention/grammar. So she has a rubric marking with it. Cutting her hair shows that Beneatha is trying to find her individuality through the Nigerian culture. Okay, so need to connect to prompt and answer question more. Okay, this is associated with ideas, and we're saving. And you would continue on like this through the rest of her paper. I make markings down here like works cited page, and on that I have it's either missing or lacking in correctness because she doesn't have the works cited here. Title should be works cited. It's going to be associated with her works cited. Save, but her actual citation is correct. She's just missing the title, so that will be fine. Okay, so here's the fun part as far as grading with rubrics. If you go down to the side here and you click on the rubric, it's going to bring up what is the actual rubric. As you mouse over, you can see that the actual words come up on the bottom of the blue screen here. So her ideas are lagging because she doesn't necessarily answer the question. So their response demonstrates limited comprehension of ideas stated. Okay, organization, she lacks some of the pieces that will hold this together. So she's going to get an 18 out of 20 there. Her word choice is pretty good as she moves through and paraphrases her quotes. Her convention needs a lot of work. So they are demonstrating some command of this grammar, but mostly missing with commas, but here and there. It's not every sentence. MLA formatting is correct. She's got her heading, her title is correct, and her last name and page number, so that is fine. And I like to, on my rubric, split up MLA formatting from the in-text citations from the works cited, so that way if they hurt themselves in one area, they're not going to kill themselves in all areas. Her citations are completely correct as far as her punctuation and the way she cites, so those are fine. But her works cited is missing the title. And so this is not necessarily a minor flaw. This is a flaw, but her entire citation is correct. So she'll get an 8 out of 10 on that. Then she does use contractions. So she gets a 3. Some use of contractions versus no use of contractions, she would get the full 5 points. All right, so here's the rubric percentage. Now my rubric points are out of 105. She got a 78 out of 105, but the assignment is going to be out of 100. And so this is going to be 74% of the grade. And you can apply the rubric percentage to the grade. I don't know why it's not doing it, but for most assignments it will do it, or I can just type in the grade here, not a problem. Okay, so there's where her grade will show up. And then when we remove ourselves from this window, we can see that the grades will show up. And again, I have to screen share with you guys. You can see that the grades will show up in the, let's just do my entire screen. That will help. You can see that the grades will show up right in here. I think I need to move off of her page first to do that. I have so many windows open. Go away. There you are. Okay. So if I move on to another paper, that grade should show up here if I refresh this page. So now Emily has, her grade is a 74. She has not viewed the paper. And you can see that Michael viewed his paper before I have even graded it. Let me show you some examples of my other papers. These I mostly did on the iPad. So if I bring up Lex's paper, it'll load in that document camera for you. Just trying to see that this is all working. And you can see that I've typed a lot of things on here. When you do it from the iPad, those markings will come straight up. When you do it on the computer, it's going to have that little speech bubble that they'll have to mouse over. But you can see that I used a lot of drag and drop options as well as writing down some of her marks. All right. I hope that helps you figuring out the quick mark section, the rubric section, which is down here at the bottom, that you can drop and drag and add to the total points. I hope that was helpful with learning how to grade using the quick marks that we've set up and using the rubric we've set up. I hope you have an awesome day, and we'll see you next round.